Arise analyst Mahmud Jega joins me now for the rest of the program to share his insights on the talking points of the day. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's been a lot of controversy trailing the Edo elections. I mean, you've been involved in elections before. What are your thoughts on what the first guest said about what has transpired, or what transpired last weekend?
Okay, I listened to what the Attorney General of Edo State, who incidentally is a former INEC director himself. Now, he said many things about things that happened in the run-up to the election. Unfortunately, these are things probably that you cannot bring to the tribunal. Like he said, some PDP bigwigs were arrested and detained. I don't know how true that is or what offense they were accused of committing. Or even the allegations about vote buying. If people actually come to the polling station and cast a vote, perhaps because they were induced the previous night by money being shared, again, that is very difficult to prove before tribunals, as long as they were not arrested at the point when they were doing the vote buying. Okay, but he said other important things. The most important one being that most of the problem, as he saw it with the Edo election, happened at the collation stage, and that they want INEC to use administrative means to correct it, which is provided in the amended Electoral Act. If that does not happen, then you'll have to go to the election tribunal. You see, my own thinking is this. A political party like PDP in Edo State, that is very strong, controls state government, they had polling agents in every polling unit in the state, and also at every collation center, at the ward level, at the local government, and at the state level. And he even said that there is a discrepancy between some of the results posted on IREF and the ones maybe that the agents brought from the polling stations and the collation centers. If that is true, it should be possible to prove that. Even if INEC does not take administrative action, it can be now done at the tribunals.
Right.
It can be done at the tribunals. It has been done successfully in some states.
Yes. You know, when you talk about the pre-election matter, I don't know if you listened to the hearing today with the new Chief Justice of Nigeria during her confirmation process. She's talked about those pre-election matters, which some people bring up to the court, you know, and she also talked about cleaning up judicial system, or the conflicting judgments by different courts, and she also talked about fighting corruption. So let's look at that, since the courts bear, you know, a lot of these cases that eventually decide the elections. What do you think, or how do you think the new Chief Justice of Nigeria can manage all of this?
We have many
is she able to?
Problems. You know, it's because what you asked me was regarding what the Attorney General of Edo State said. And he didn't say anything about courts, because at this stage, courts were not involved. There is no doubt that pre-election matters, which is a serious aspect of the disorganization of our political parties and the indiscipline of our politicians, plus also the problem of the courts. You see, some of these pre-election issues go to courts, they stalemate. Although the Chief Justices have been trying over the years, like, you know, telling judges don't give unnecessary injunctions, because those ones confuse everything. But the problem with some of the pre-election matters, unlike the post-election matters, is that they are not kind of time bound. You know, they go on, they tend to go on and on even after the election. But the problems of the pre-election that the Attorney General was talking about was not about the courts.
Right.
It's like he's accusing the federal authorities of abuse of power, more or less, using police and security agencies to detain some opposition party leaders. All these are some of the weaknesses of our democracy.
The challenges. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but I want to ask you quickly. You saw the release by NBS and the raising of the interest rate by the CBN. What's your take on that quickly?
You see, the problem is that the statements by CBN I think more than 90% of Nigerians do not know what they are saying. You know, it is steeped in jargon. The economists that you just had as a guest broke them down, and some of the interpretation is scandalous. Like saying, when you say that there is 5% unemployment in Nigeria, what you are talking about is the people who cannot get a job for 1 hour in a week. But that, as he said, if you adjust it to 20 hours or 40 a week, which is 8 hours a day times 5, then probably you are talking of 30, 40%. That's scandalous. Yes. Why should you say 5% when what you mean is people who don't work for 1 hour? That's fraudulent if you ask me, and it's meant to deceive almost.
Yes, I'm so sorry we don't have enough time, but thank you so much for coming. Well, that's it for this edition of Arise Prime Time. Do join us again tomorrow, and we'll have another wonderful day. I'm Constance Ikoku.